We'll continue reading this morning, but before we read, we'll chant. Let's sing a song. I don't know, maybe you can get it on your mobile. Oh Hey Vaisnava Thakura. If someone plays a harmonium, it would be nice, but they know how to play.
If someone can play Mridanga instead of me, I can play it.
Sikshastakam Prabhu. Haribol Gopaswami Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Have you recovered yet? Or never recovered? Uncovered is the word. We have to uncover our hearts. They're covered with all kinds of layers of illusion. I haven't sung this song for quite a long time, and I might need some old age goes along with loss of a little bit of memory sometimes, you know. And sometimes we forget a little bit, so I don't know if I'll be able to remember. I might need a little bit of help, maybe, with a book, a song book, maybe. At least we can have it open. There's a song by Srila Satchitananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which is a very nice song, which anyway, O Hey Vaishnava Thakur. Without the mercy of the pure devotees of the Lord, we have no chance of controlling our senses, of absorbing ourselves in the Sankirtan movement. This is our only really good credit, our link with Krishna. You have it there? If you want, there may be some songbooks here and there, and it'll be on a different page in each and every book, so there's no point me telling you which page it's on. It tends to be, this is many different editions of the songbooks. Oh Hey Vaishnava Thakur. Anybody found it in your mobile phones or in a book? I don't even know if it's in the French one, maybe it is. Oh Hey Vaishnava Thakur. That is the title. Yeah, that's what it's titled here anyway. It does have no other title. Oh Hey Vaishnava Thakur. I'm not sure if it's in the French songbook. Oh, it's in the new French songbook, but I don't know if it's in the old French songbook. If you have the new French songbook, Vaishnava chants, whatever they call it, it is in there. Oh Hey Vaishnava Thakura Duyara Sagara Edase Karuna Kari. Oh Hey Vaishnava Thakura Duyara Sagara Edase Karuna Kari. Diya Padachaya Shodaheya Maya Tomara Sarana Dori. Diya Padachaya Todahe amar, tomara sarana dori. Jaya Begadomi, Jaya Dosa Shori, Jaya Gunadeva Se. Jaya Vegadomi, Jaya Dosa Shori, Jaya Gunadeva Se. Jaya Satsanga, Deho He Amare, Ose She Sangera Ashe. Jaya Satsanga, Ose She Sangera Ekaki Amara, Nahi Paivoro, Odinam Sankitane. Ekaki Amara, Nahi Paivoro, Odinam Sankitane. Tumi Kripa Kari, Shraddha Vindadya, Deho Krishna Namadane. Shraddha Vindadya, Deho Krishna Namadane. Krishna se Toma, Krishna Dite Para, Tomara Shakatiya Ate. Krishna se Tomara, Krishna Dite Para, Tomara Shakatiya Ate. Amito Kangala, Krishna Krishna Bali, Dai Tavo Pate Pate. Amito Kangala, Krishna Krishna Boli, Dai Tavo Pate Pate. Oh hey, Vaisnava Thakura, Doyara Saganga, Eta Se Kuruna Kori. Oh hey, Vaisnava Thakura, Doyara Saganga, Eta Se Kori. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Oh hey Vaisnava Thakura, oh hey Vaisnava Thakura, oh hey Vaisnava Vaisnava Thakur, Vaisnava Thakur, Ode Vaisnava Thakur, Vaisnava Thakur, Ode Vaisnava. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivraja Gacharya Sarashti A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Shri Gaunitai Ki. Shri Krishna Balaram Ki. Shri Radha Govinda Madhava Ki. And Go Premanandi. Shri Gadadhara Pandit Avibhav Mahotsav Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Garanga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Sunyavad Pastachade Shatarine. Hare Krishna. We also, of course, like to welcome Atmani Vedana Maharaj to New Mayapur again. You came some years ago, is that correct? Pardon? When? 1992. That was just a few weeks ago, huh? Not so long ago. Just not even a moment practically in Lord Brahma's life, a few moments only. But that's 33 years ago, Maharaj. That's too long. What to do? Health issues now make life difficult to move. What to do? We'll just read the translation of this. Translation into French. Does anybody need a French translation? If so, don't be shy. We can ask in French. Does anyone need a translation? Mice needs a translation into. One mice, and somebody else is there. Dhananjaya Prabhu will give, or Harini will give, or somebody will give. She will sit there. And if you need a French translation, please locate yourself near to Harini. Mice, are you okay with that? Okay. You have to go closer, otherwise you will not probably hear. O Venerable Vaisnava Thakur, O Ocean of Mercy, be merciful to me. Ocean of Mercy, that means every single living entity can enter into that ocean. Prabhupada and pure devotees of the Lord, they are oceans of mercy. They are not drops of mercy. You can say they drop the mercy into the laps of the conditioned souls, but we may not want it. But they give us the chance. But they're oceans. It's never extinguished. It never dries up. It is not in any way conditioned or affected by the material energy. We get affected by the material energy, isn't it? We get depressed sometimes. We doubt. We're not convinced. Sometimes, maybe all the time. Be merciful to me, your servant, and purify me by the shade of your lotus feet. It means practically taking shelter of the instructions of the pure devotee. You can, it's a nice sentiment to take it literally, but that shade protecting us from the effects of the material energy is the mercy they give. Srila Prabhupada, I don't have the reference, but I noted one time, he said, "My mercy are the instructions which I am giving you. Chant Hare Krishna, but in the way that the pure devotees of the Lord guide us to chant, not according to our condition." Jai Radha Govinda Madhava Krishna Balaram Gaur Nitai Hari Bol. It's very nice today because the flower garlands at this time of the year being kind of like, what do you call, like purple, mauve, violet, I don't know the color name, but and white go perfectly with their outfits. Huh? You remember that all day long. Remember the deities and the colors of their dress and their garlands and so on. This way you can remember Krishna. This is another way that Srila Prabhupada is giving us shelter at his lotus feet by allowing us to have this opportunity to serve the deities. Service is you could say, the ticket or the price of that shelter. Submissive, surrendered. Service means surrender or submission. It's not an activity. It's the mentality in which we act. Submission. Doing that which is the will of the Lord. Your feet I humbly hold. It means we submissively take shelter, knowing that we have no other choice without interpreting those instructions. Controlling my 6 urges. And they're mentioned, if you read the Nectar of Instruction, Upadeshamrit, you will see the description there given by Rupa Goswami of the 6 urges. And I'm not going to mention them. You have to read it today if you don't know, or even if you do know. You can read them if you want. Controlling my 6 urges and purify me of the 6 faults, please give to your servant the 6 good qualities. And this is unique because if we take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, the 6 urges are controlled. Isn't it? We're engaged in devotional service, so they come under the control, not of us exactly, but of the internal energy. By engaging them in acts of devotion under the shelter of the pure devotee of the Lord. He's the representative of Srimati Radharani, the internal potency. So we get the shelter there. And that's what, when we're chanting Hare Krishna in one level which we're on, we are praying to the Lord. What are we praying? We may be praying something else. What are you praying? For prasadam? Please give me this day my daily prasadam. That's all right. It's prasadam. Service. Praying for service. We more graphically or literally, Prabhupada writes it. My dear Lord Krishna, my dear Radharani, please engage me in the service of internal, the spiritual energy, and release me from serving the material energy. Transformation. Service continues. Everyone's serving, isn't it? You can't avoid it. We're serving our senses. We learn devotional service means Rishikena Rishikesha, to serve the senses of Krishna, isn't it? And the pure devotees, we may not exactly know how that works or what it means to serve the senses of Krishna, but the pure devotees engage us in that way. Oh, give me the 6 kinds of holy association. In the association of devotees, actually Prabhupada, or somebody, has put a little footnote here, and it is briefly mentioned. Let's see what it says here. The 6 kinds of spiritual association. Okay. It relates to the loving exchanges which we see in the nectar of instruction. What are those loving exchanges? Who knows what the 6 kinds of loving exchanges are between... It refers also, you could say, in general, in relationships, but particularly mentioned by Rupa Goswami in relationship to devotees. What are the 6 kinds of loving association? To give gifts. Yes, Lucy. Open your heart. Reveal your mind in confidence. Huh? Yes. To honor prasad. Now we've got one side of each fence here. There are 2 sides to every fence. You have to receive. You can receive prasad, but you also should give prasadam. Giving prasadam, receiving prasadam in its various forms. Giving gifts, receiving gifts. We all know how disappointing it is when you offer a gift to someone and they reject it. It breaks the heart, especially of a child. The same thing, you reveal your mind in confidence and the other person doesn't hear you or doesn't take it in confidence. It breaks the heart, doesn't it? It breaks relationships. Or it doesn't allow them to grow at all. So these 2 ways. Relationships are 2 ways. It's not just give, or take. It's 2 ways. Even in devotional service, Srila Prabhupada on several occasions mentions, if we do not share what gifts we've received in terms of the shelter, if we do not share that, Prabhupada said on several occasions specifically, we'll become envious. We'll be proud and envious. It must be shared. It is not ours exactly. You could say constitutionally, but that's on a different level of consciousness. It is a gift, and we have to understand. The tendency in this material world is to think it belongs to me. Where do we go there? Alone, I have no strength to chant the holy name of Lord Hari. And we may experience that sometimes when we're alone, even for a short while. What to speak of a protracted or a long while. It's not always easy to chant the holy name. The association of devotees, the mercy of the pure devotee, even if we do chant, it's only by the mercy of the pure devotees that our chanting can become pleasing to Krishna. It's not just a matter of mechanical chanting, that can go on for a very, very long time. Bahu janma kariyari shravana kirtana. Many lifetimes chanting has to be favorable to Krishna. Devotional service is meant to be anukulyena Krishna, anushilanam. We're meant to cultivate under the shelter of the pure devotees, anukul, not pratikul. Anukul means not just activity, but favorable, with a favorable attitude. The attitude, Srila Prabhupada writes, is what really counts. The attitude. Not the quantity, but the attitude of our service. So we're trying to cultivate, that's anukul, not just what we do exactly, that's meant to help, but it's the attitude in which we act. That's the anukul, the favorable attitude, pleasing to Krishna. I beg, therefore, please be merciful, and with a particle of faith, give me the great treasure of the holy name of Krishna. Great treasure. The greatest treasure of all. Generally one doesn't advertise, maybe certain people do, but something which is very valuable, you usually keep it locked up. Protect it in case somebody tries to, as they may do, steal it. But in this case, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, many times Brahmins, Vedic people, so-called Vedic people, they say this is a secret. You're not meant to spread this holy name in public. Huh? Don't distribute the holy name to the faithless. I mean, different interpretations may be there. But Lord Chaitanya has ordered everywhere, spread the holy name. Who do we listen to? We listen to the Supreme Lord. If that's what He wants, that's what we do. We may have our other ideas. Who cares about our other ideas? All that matters is what Lord Chaitanya wants and what His representatives want. So we do what we can to chant the holy names, even if we are not very pure. Some of you joined us yesterday in tours. Of course, those coming from London were a little tired. All-night journey, and unfortunately they couldn't join us. You couldn't join us. But some did, and you could see, so amazed at the number of people, watching. They're not so, we could say, confident to jump in the kirtan. One or two drunks. Maybe one or two others. I saw Jivananda dancing. What was he? Was he a Muslim or a Jew? Muslim? I couldn't see from a distance. I see he had a little hat on the back. The Jews also sometimes have a little hat on the back. A Muslim gentleman was dancing for a while with Jivananda and taking pictures. Many people taking pictures. Hundreds and thousands of people taking pictures of the Harinam party. Indirectly, they're engaged in Sankirtan. Huh? Those pictures go all over the world. There's no way of telling. Millions of people may see those pictures. There's no way. They put them on their, whatever we call it, their Facebook, something, their blog, I don't know what they do. They put it somewhere. And somebody might see it and say, what is that? It doesn't matter if they don't know. They get a picture. Just taking that picture is the start, maybe, of their devotional lives. There's a positivity there, a very big one. So interesting. Sandy Pani Mooney, are you getting married? You're not getting married. Not your marriage, no. Good to see you here. Where you came from?
England.
Oh, you came from England, huh? Okay. We missed you on Harinam. Why didn't you come on Harinam? To do. And some books were distributed. Harini distributed a lot of books on Harinam. And some of our devotees are in King's Day. Today is King's Day. Not in France, by the way. Definitely not. But in Holland it's King's Day today. Or yesterday, rather. King's Day. Used to be Queen's Day. And there's a big festival and distributed lots of books. I think Diana Tai distributed more than 50 books yesterday in Amsterdam. So, opportunity, spread the holy name. This is taking shelter. This is taking shelter of the instruction of the spiritual master. When we try to assist them in spreading the holy name, in whatever way we can. All authorized service is assisting, you could say. But whenever the chance is there, we try to encourage others to also hear and chant the holy name. This is the greatest treasure. Greatest treasure. We're all trying to purchase the holy name. How much does it cost? What's the cost? Is inflation, isn't it? Inflation. How much does the holy name cost now in euros? How many euros? How many euros, Sandipani?
It's free.
It's free? It must be worthless then if it's free. Can't be worth anything. Isn't there no price to the holy name? Priceless? There is a price. Now we've got a problem here. Some people are selling it. Some says it's free. Who can settle this difficult question? Yes, Lucy. Lucy had her hand up first. Madam Gopal was second, and Indulekha third or second, third. Close, very close. Lucy's already said something. Indulekha, welcome back from India. She really does well in India. You belong in India. That's why your name is India Loka. India Loka? Indulekha. Indulekha. India Loka. Yes, Indulekha. Faith! Have you heard that word? Faith? Faith? Faith. You heard it? Shraddha. Huh? Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. Excellent answer. Thank you for correcting us there. Facebook. Yeah. Well, you might get a little faith sometimes. You may lose your faith also. There's probably a higher chance you'll lose your faith than there is you'll get your faith on social media. There's all sides are there, but there's a high predominance of the other side, isn't there? So, anyway, put that aside. Faith. Somebody said that, didn't they? The price of the holy name is your faith, isn't it? Wasn't it Lord Nityananda who says that? Huh? Dalalera Gita. How's that song go? Born Krishna. Anyway, I've forgotten the song. But he says like that in that song. The price is your faith. Not just a mechanical process. How much faith we have. So that grows. Where does faith come from? Where does it come from? Even in the material world. Association. It's like we're brought up in we call Western world, science and whatever, Western philosophy is there. It has a strong impression on how we see things. Even in our efforts to change our consciousness a little bit, sometimes there's a problem, isn't it? I know a lot of devotees, when the 5th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam was published, they had strong scientific conditioning and it was very hard for them. Some of them so hard they couldn't stay. They just couldn't stomach it. We're somewhat affected. We have faith in, material, whatever, Prachaksha and Anuman. Huh? And we have not so much faith in Shabda Brahma, that coming down from the spiritual. And sometimes it's hard for us. Oh, it's hard. We have air conditionings. We think that, material sense gratification is very nice. We're attached. What about me? What am I getting out of this? Isn't it? I don't like this. I like that. I don't like this. We have all this duality of perception. To see things from Krishna's point of view, we hear about it. We may talk about it, but do we live it? This is the mercy of the pure devotees. They teach us how. It's by association, by their personal example, by their instructions, by the association or the environmental situation they try to create, just like a temple, deities, pictures, nice prasadam. I don't think it would be very easy for us if the prasadam was like, what we could say, uncooked fat rice every day with, just plain rasam. In South India, they like their rasam. You're South Indian, aren't you? Have you got a South Indian twist to you? Yes or no?
Gujarati.
Oh, you're Gujarati, okay, not very South. You're South Indian, Rahul is South Indian. They like their rasam. Just rice and rasam.
Many types of rasam.
I know there are. I don't have to tell me. I've lived in Tamil Loka for 15 years. It's sometimes only rice and rasam, nothing else. They told me one day, we're having a feast. It was 8 different types of rice and 4 different types of rasam. Hot, spicy. A few tomatoes mixed with the chilies. Anyway. For some people that's nectar, but for most Westerners it might not be so attractive to lose our taste for the mundane. We'll just finish this off here. It's a great treasure which Prabhupada is giving us, and we sometimes forget. Krishna is yours. Now on the transcendental platform, Prabhupada said, yes, the only thing you can say is yours is Krishna. He's the property of the pure devotees. That's why he doesn't award this very easily, because he becomes a prisoner, basically, of his pure devotees in one sense. A servant, let's put it more nice. A servant of his pure devotees. There's nothing more he wants to do than serve his pure devotees. Though they have Krishna. And you have the power to give him to me, for such is your power. If the pure devotee wills, it's like Prabhupada writes in Markandeya Bhagavat Dharma, isn't it? By your will, they have come under the influence of the material energy. By your will, they can be released from the material energy. Sounds a bit like we have no say in it. But Krishna's reciprocating. We cannot come under the influence of the material energy unless Krishna arranges it. We haven't got the power. Neither have we got the power to get out of it unless Krishna releases us. So his will has to be there also. And Prabhupada said, it's my will that you release them. Prabhupada says that. So Krishna, of course, we fight like anything not to get released. But the Sankirtan movement is the will of Prabhupada, the will of Lord Chaitanya, giving everyone a chance to get out of this world. And what can you say? The chance is given. We have to take it. So it's there for everyone. Some kind of try to avoid it, but in one sense, every single person who sees the Sankirtan party on the street hears the holy name, even if it's not so pure, maybe they'll say, there was one guy to me, I didn't know what he was talking about. He was speaking in French. It never cottoned on to him. He spoke so quickly, I couldn't even interject. And he was going on for about 10 minutes, and every about 20 seconds, Hare Krishna came up. So I assumed that he was, pretty good, I just let him talk because he kept saying Hare Krishna. And I'm sure he made a lot of benefit by just keep saying Hare Krishna. I don't know what he was saying about Hare Krishna, but he kept on speaking for about... He seemed quite nice. He was very, very jolly and favourable, a big Frenchman. I never got a chance to explain to him. I didn't understand what he was saying because he didn't stop speaking. Anyway, he was very happy, and I said au revoir, and off we went. I am indeed wretched. The state of our consciousness, we're wretched. We're so attached to this world. And simply run after you, crying, Krishna, Krishna. Eagerness. Isn't that the price? What is the price of Krishna consciousness? Lolium. What's lolium? Greed, eagerness. You have to be eager. Huh? Longing. Great longing. Longing. I thought it said laundry. Well, it's kind of related. You have to put yourself in the laundry machine and get a good wash. Hang yourself up on the line. Yeah. You have to dry up all the material desires. The powerful sun, Krishna Sura Sam Mayahaya Andhakara. In the association of Krishna, all those material desires can be dried up. Powerful sun. Krishna, Krishna. Well, there's no time much. I just briefly mentioned today is I believe it's the Avirbhav. Yeah, it must be, because the Tirobhav of Gadadhara Pandit, I believe, is the same day as Bhaktivinoda Thakura. So it's the Avirbhav, isn't it? Am I correct? Avirbhav, which means the appearance day of Gadadhara Pandit. And what a wonderful day, huh? Gadadhara Pandit. Who is Gadadhara Pandit? He's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Okay. But it's not referring directly to him. Who is Gadadhara Pandit? Giri Govardhan Prabhu is a mine of transcendental knowledge. He's a treasure house.
He's the spiritual master of Srinivas.
We're going around in a circle here. You could say he was the Siksha Guru of Srinivasacharya, because he came to him to hear Bhagavatam, but he didn't actually hear it. But he is the disciple of Pundarik Vijayanidhi. That's a beautiful story of Gadadhara Pandit. Pundarik Vijayanidhi. And who is, we have to cut a long story short. Who is Pundarik Vijayanidhi? Who is Vrishabhanu? Is she here? Where's Vrishabhanu Sutta? No, she's Sutta. We have a wonderful devotee here at New Mayapur, Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Dasi. Who is Vrishabhanu? The father of Radharani. What an amazing, what a position. Huh? We don't talk much about Vrishabhanu. But what a position. Huh? What a mood. She's the father of Srimati Radharani. We haven't got time to go there. So, who is Gadadhara Pandit? Disciple of Pundarik Vijayanidhi. So put the two together. Maybe you can see some connection there on another level. What is that connection? Well, Mukunda's very much involved in the middle of it all, but in terms of Pundarik and Gadadhar. Father and daughter. Pundarik is the father, Gadadhar is the daughter. So who do you think he or she, who do you think he is? He's a manifestation of Srimati Radharani herself. Now this is very esoteric. And even if we hear it, it probably doesn't have an awful lot of, let's say, effective meaning on our present state of devotional service. The acharyas explain it in words, but the realization is another thing. Basically, Gadadhara Pandit appears to assist the Lord. Why does Lord Chaitanya is Radharani, isn't he? At least he's in the mood of Radharani. He's Radha and Krishna. So where does Gadadhar come in? Well, in the practical sense, he comes in as to assist the Lord in his... What is Lord Chaitanya's mission? What is his mission? To spread the holy name. Well, that's an easy answer, isn't it? It's an easy answer. We don't see Gadadhara Pandit so much involved in that part of it. He's one of the Panchatattva. So obviously they're in the Sankirtan. But we don't see so much reference like with Nityananda, with Srivas, even with Advaita. You see more reference of the direct involvement in spreading the holy name, isn't it? But it's not so much with Gadadhar. It's like he almost has a different role in Lord Chaitanya's mission. Is there anything more to Lord Chaitanya's mission other than just to spread the holy name? Janava? To experience that which Krishna cannot experience, the emotion, the love of Srimati Radharani. He cannot experience it. It's something God cannot know or experience. So he assumes the form of Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya, Gauranga, form with a complexion of Srimati Radharani. The mood, the complexion goes along with a mood on the spiritual plane. He's Krishna, but he's in the mood of Radharani. Very intensive or deep subject matter, which we can read about, that's about all I can say, in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this is Gadadhar's role, to assist the Lord. So after the Lord, sometimes words, we can say some words if we get them right, memory. What does it mean at that stage? Hare Krishna plunders the bath of Srimati Radharani. That mood of love, that mood of separation, that mood of intensive love for Krishna. The Lord plunders it and appears in the form of Lord Chaitanya. So what's left of Radharani is Gadadhar. He's always in that mood of submission, almost I surrender. And that's the mood of, even in Krishna's pastimes, in his manifestation of his various pastimes in this plane, when he performs his pastimes in Dwarka with his queens, Rukmini, the two primary queens of Krishna, who are they? Rukmini and Satyabhama. We generally hear more about Rukmini, don't we? You hear some about Satyabhama, but usually it's Rukmini Dwarkadish. I don't know of a temple, what would you say, Satyabhama Dwarkadish, I don't know, is that right? Yeah, you could say Satyabhama Dwarkadish. It's Rukmini. It's always Rukmini. Different mood. But in Vrindavan, how much do you hear about Chandravali? Don't go there, right? Whoop, close the ears. Plug the ears, throw it away. I was on Brajmandal Parikrama one time with Lokanath Maharaj's party, going all the way around. It was the last day And I had to get back. I was called back to Vrindavan for some management meeting. I went back to Vrindavan, and I had to do 2 days Prikram in one morning. So I left early in the morning from the party, and I thought, we were in Brahmanda Ghat. And so I left Brahmanda Ghat from Gokul, and I walked to Raval, the birthplace of Radharani. But I didn't know how to get there. I was on my own. And I was asking people. Most people did not understand what I was saying. It was even more difficult than asking the way in France, if you don't speak French. And anyway, I kind of followed my previous experience a little bit, and by whatever people told me. And I thought, this is the path. And I walked down it. I saw many people going down the path. I thought, this must be a little path off the road. I walked down about 1 kilometer, and I thought, this doesn't look like Raval. Raval, I hope you pronounce it. And then I asked somebody, Raval? No. No. It's a place of Chandravali. Oh! Hundreds of people go in there. It's not too far from the birthplace of Radharani. Chandravali's appearance place. So I turned back and walked, and then somebody told me over there. I went to Raval, there was nobody there. Only the priest. It was silent. It was so nice. Although it was silent, you didn't feel it was such a nice experience being alone there in Raval. Anyway, just an interesting experience of the appearance. But this is Gadadhara Pandit. He is that Rukmini, in the mood of Rukmini, in the mood of Chandravali. The right wing gopi is very submissive, always submissive. And his life was like that, always submissive, gentle. He was a constant associate of Lord Chaitanya, practically. Even in his childhood, he was associating with Lord, from birth almost. In different ways, he was facilitating the Lord's pleasure. Lord Chaitanya would sometimes take advantage of, you could say, of his submissive mentality. But it's all part of their rasa, their relationship. And, there's so many things. He was in Jagannath Puri, when Lord Chaitanya went to Jagannath Puri, Gadadhara Pandit what was he doing in Puri? The Lord requested him. What was he doing in Puri, Gadadhara Pandit? Reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. He would read and hear the Bhagavatam constantly, practically. And Lord Chaitanya would come and listen. Other devotees would come and sit and listen to him reading. Tears would roll down their eyes. Crying on the Bhagavatam. When Srinivasacharya came there, he was ordered by his guru and by Lord Chaitanya to go there and hear Bhagavatam from Gadadhara Pandit. But he couldn't, because Lord Chaitanya had just left the world. And Gadadhara Pandit was in so much separation, unbearable. You can imagine his form of Radharani. And he was just crying constantly. And those days we didn't have books like this. Even if you cry on this, you can still read it. It might be a bit wrinkled. And even still, I just go in the library and get another one. It wasn't like that in those days. They were all handwritten on palm leaves and so on. And everything was, and everything was gone. You couldn't read it. It was like the pages were ruined, in that sense, by the tears of Gadadhara Pandit. So he couldn't read the Bhagavatam to Srinivas. He said, go back and get another copy. But be quick, because I can't say if I can stay much longer. He went back to Bengal, but he took too long. Krishna had a plan. And by the time he came back, Gadadhara Pandit had left the world. Couldn't bear the separation. So that's another story. So Gadadhara Pandit. What else did he do in Puri? Huh? Cookie, a fantastic cook. That's a fact. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loved, especially his rice. He cooked rice where you could, I don't know, perhaps occasionally you get this, but generally the flavor of rice is still there, but it's not quite as flavorful as it used to be. I remember when rice seemed to be more flavorful. Maybe my sense of smell is gone or something, I don't know. But that fragrance you could smell it from a long distance. And the scent of the flavor of the rice cooked by Gadadhara Pandit could be smelt from a long, long way away. Lord Chaitanya was very attracted to that fragrance. It was just captivating. He loved this cooking. What else did he do in Jagannath Puri? Pardon? Kshetra Sannyas. Okay, Kshetra Sannyas. What does that mean? Gopaswami Prabhu, you taking Kshetra Sannyas here, you and your wife? What do you think? Sikshastikam Prabhu? Kind of. Oh, you do travel, but mostly here. They're serving here. Also, some devotees have taken this. They're staying here for the rest of their lives. Yeah. What does it mean? It means you take that vow. You may be with your wife, like a vanaprastha, but you stay there, in the holy place. In this case, it's Jagannath Puri. And Gadadhara Pandit was given that instruction by Lord Chaitanya, you stay here. He wasn't officially a sannyasi walking with a danda, but it's called Kshetra Sannyas. Even Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was like a Kshetra Sannyas. He basically stayed in Puri. That Kshetra, that place, that field. So he stayed there always. And what did he do there? We've already mentioned or heard a couple of them. What else did he do? A very special service given to him by the Lord. What was that? Serving Tota Gopinath, the deity. He was the Prajari of Tota Gopinath. One time he wanted to leave. When Lord Chaitanya decided to go to Vrindavan, Gadadhara Pandit couldn't bear it, so he went running after Lord Chaitanya. I want to go with you. And Lord Chaitanya said, no, you've taken the vow. I've asked you to stay here and look after Tota Gopinath. To hell with my vow. There are two sides to it. You can say, well, what's the use of a vow when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going? I want to go with you. He said, if you do this, you create any problems. First of all, you have to stay, look after Tota Gopinath. What will people think? You have broken your promise. Bad example. It's my desire you stay. Very submissive, so we do. So sometimes it's like that. We have service and we have to do what is pleasing to the pure devotee of the Lord. Show example. Okay, we'll go back to Navadvip, where you started. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was still, he started his Sankirtan movement, but he was still residing in Navadvip. And Gadadhara Pandit, being very submissive, he always wanted to associate with devotees to hear Krishna Katha, the glories of the Lord. He loved to associate with advanced devotees. And his close associate, friend Mukunda, he knew this very well. And so one day, unknown to most of the devotees in Navadvip, because Pundarik didn't come from Navadvip. Pundarik Vijayanidhi had a house in Navadvip, but that wasn't his main domicile. He wasn't known to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Only one or two knew him. Mukunda knew him. Because where did Pundarik Vijayanidhi come from? There's a beautiful temple there now. It's called Pundarik Dham. Perhaps some of you, maybe been, I don't know. You have to go to Bangladesh. Now, in the past, it wasn't so difficult. We used to go there on and off. And it's near a city called, what we say in English, Chittagong. Chittagong is the second biggest city in Bangladesh. It's quite a beautiful part of Bangladesh. Actually, Bangladesh is a very beautiful country. It was. I don't know what it's like now. So near there is this village, which is now called Pundarik Dham, but that's where Pundarik resided. Vasudev Datta came from there. Mukunda Datta came from there. Many great devotees came from the same district, little area. So he knew him because he's from the same district. But very few did in Navadvip. And Pundarik would keep himself in disguise, right? He would advertise himself. He looked like what would we call it? He would dress very foppishly, very opulently, with silk gowns and jewelries and nice groomed hairs. He had a nice house with all kinds of ornaments and beautiful arrangements. He looked like a really good sense gratifier, a really successful materialist. Huh? He was very wealthy, landowner, I think, or something. He was very wealthy, and sometimes he would come to Navadvip, but the devotees, he didn't seem to be one of them. He was in his own world somewhere, maybe so or not so. But nobody knew who he was. Only Mukunda. So one day Mukunda said to Gadadhara, I know you very much like to associate with the advanced Vaishnavas. Would you like, one very advanced Vaishnava has just arrived in Navadvip. Would you like to come with me to see him? Oh yes, please. Come, let's go. So Mukunda takes Gadadhara off to the house of Pundarik. It's like a palace. They enter in, pay their obeisances. Pundarik sat there almost like on a throne, with servants fanning him, and someone grooming his hair, all oily, shiny hairs. And he's got a nice mirror, he's looking at his face, the dots are all in the right place on his face. You know how sometimes people do, sometimes, especially the ladies, sometimes they look in the mirror and they put lipstick on and, earrings, making themselves look very beautiful. So he's there with his mirror, and all around there's a spittoon next door. He's chewing on pan. Nice pan. And there are all kinds of opulent foodstuffs around him. Everything's made of silk and, beautiful. Everyone's starting to think, this sounds really nice. Whoa. What am I doing in the brahmachari ashram? Sleeping on the floor. They don't do that anymore. They used to sleep on the floor. 20 in one room. Sharing. We used to have to share the sleeping bags. No one had their own sleeping bag. No one had their own anything. Nothing was yours. Even the private cloth was not yours. It was all shared when I joined. Everything. So, very opulent looking. And Gadadhara was always very simple. He was he was living like a brahmachari his whole life. Very simple. He lived, very austere and very simple. So this was a little bit perplexing. He couldn't quite get around it, all this opulence. But, and then Pundarik said, oh, Mukunda, who is this effulgent young man with you? And then Mukunda introduced, Gadadhara to Pundarik. Oh, wonderful. So nice. I'm so fortunate. Such a wonderful young devotee. But meanwhile, Gadadhara was starting to think, what's going on here? He seems to be a devotee, but a very materialistic one. Very materialistic. And he started to develop some kind of doubts. I guess it's not difficult to understand why. Ultimately, of course, it's the Lord's arrangement. But, you can understand. You might start getting some doubts, if you have what do you call a Diksha Guru. Huh? Diksha Guru. It's just like Gopaswami Prabhu. You go up to his house and you start to have some doubts. His house is like, God, I think if the king of France, I don't have a king anymore, if the president of France were to come, he was really, what is Hare Krishna's living like this? God, such opulence, especially if he goes to the one down in the forest there. My God, have you seen that? That house he's got down the forest? 500 square meters, Amazing house. Have you seen his house? You have to take, Maharaj can't walk very well, that's the problem. We have to somewhere to take him down. Take the bullock cart. Where's our bullock man? Take Maharaj around in the bullock cart, okay? Comfortable bullock cart, yeah? Maybe. Somewhere you've got to take him down and show him Gopaswami. He's got a palace down there in the forest. Huh?
He used to advertise it as a 5-star hotel.
5-star hotel. That's 6 stars, beyond even a 5-star. He has swimming pool down there sometimes. I've seen it. I've seen his swimming pool. Huh? Huh? Boy. And the heating system, the aircon system, everything is like out of this world. Out of this world, isn't it? He knows he's staying there right now. Brahmachari, staying in such opulence. Unbelievable. And the bathroom. Oh my God, a huge bathroom. 200 acres big. Massive bathroom. You can imagine how big the house is. Anyway, let's get back to where Pundarik Vijayanidhi is living. So Gadadhara's developing some doubts there. Well, I don't understand what's going on here. Very advanced devotee, but what is this, and this and this, and what is all this? What type of devotee is this? So Mukunda, these are eternal associates, and there are different rasas going on here. But he could understand the mentality. Just, you look at a person's face, and some people, they can't hide their inner mood if they try, isn't it? You can read the face, and even without that he could understand. But the face particularly, you can see doubts coming in very easily. Something happening on the face. Huh? Like a book, they say, it's like the index of the mind, isn't it? Face. The eyes, the face. You can kind of see changes taking place. So he immediately understood this doubt in the heart of Gadadhara. So immediately Mukunda then, seeing that doubt, this is all part of the process, or the Leela, of glorifying Pundarik Vijayanidhi and helping us to all understand devotional service is not all about what we see with these two little eyes. Transcendental. We can't see that. We tend to measure it relatively. This is a devotee, that's another devotee because they're like this. We can't always tell what's going on. So even Gadadhara Pandit couldn't tell what was going on. So Mukunda relieved him. And he started to glorify. He started to suddenly sing verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Very simple verses about how merciful Krishna is. That even though Putana came to him, Putana came to Krishna with the intention of killing Krishna. But Krishna mercifully delivered her and gave her an eternal position as a nurse in Goloka Vrindavan. How merciful. He's come to kill you, and you've given that person the highest benediction. How merciful is that Lord. So Pundarik sat there, and when he started hearing Mukunda reciting or singing these verses, he couldn't maintain his inner emotions any longer. And he just lost it. Boom! He ripped his silk garments to shreds. Smashed the batoon, threw this that way, everyone jumped backwards. He went into a rage, a mad rage. He fell on the floor, pounding the floor. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. He was going mad. On and on, nobody could get near him, no one could touch him. He would just throw them away like this. And after a while he went silent. and laid there. Nobody, he was in total samadhi, you could say, deeply absorbed in memory. And then eventually he came out of his depth of his absorption. Straightened things up a little bit. Sat back down. Gadadhara was absolutely stunned beyond belief. Oh, what an offense I've committed! What an offense! To doubt in any way such a person. I've never seen such ecstatic love of God ever. What is this? I must atone for my sinful mentality. And he begged him, please accept me as your disciple. So all was arranged. Gadadhara Pandit spoke to Lord Chaitanya, who was very happy. Yes, immediately he should take initiation from Pundarik. And the right time was arranged like that. Because he's the father of Radharani. So, like that. Nice pastime. Shri Gadadhara Pandit ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. So now we'll begin the Prabhupada Lilamrita. That's all we do here. We just read and chant all day long. We don't have anything else to do. Is that right? What else is there? What else is there to do? Huh? We're living in a palace. What more do we want? We just read and chant. What do you think, Marge? Good idea? Not bad here. But I guess we have other things to do, and it's prasadam. By the way, you missed prasadam, so we can forget that. That was already served at 8:45. You missed it. Sorry about that. But you've got that rice and rasam ready, haven't you? Yeah, there you go. No problem.
I can make 4 different rasam for you, Maharaj.
4 kinds of rasam.
4
Yeah.
kinds of rasam.
There we go. Lo Chan, where is Lo Chan? Is he gone? Or he didn't came? He's too busy. You want rasam, Lo Chan? You can ask him. He's not Tamil, but he's not far over the border, just nearby. Hare Krishna. Well, thank you all for coming. Unfortunately, I have to leave for Paris early tomorrow morning. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Hari Bol.